You know, you would not believe the inaccurate data that is on some of the listings, not just here in Florida, but all across the country. And the things that people choose to focus on as highlights of a property are drastically shifting here, guys. So a lot of people ask me, if I'm looking in Florida, what should I be focusing on, areas, what type of house, things like that. A lot of you guys who've seen the channel before will probably know some of the answers I'm going to give here. Again, these are just my opinions, but I get asked it enough that I thought it would be worth going over and pointing out you cannot trust a damn thing that you read in these listing descriptions, even some stuff on the MLS. I'll give you an example. Flood zones. Very relevant right now, guys. They're wrong. A lot of the time, they're wrong on the listings. Another thing they'll say is not in a flood zone. Blatant lie. The whole state is a flood zone. If you see not in a flood zone in the listing, I think that should almost be criminal to write that in this state, really anywhere, because they've got flood maps for all over the country. So it shocks me that anyone would take the chance in writing that. But I went to look up flood zones and they say low risk. You pull the map. Oh, well, it's low risk for one corner of the house. The rest of the house is high risk. So, and personally, as an agent, I don't want to waste my time listing something like that inaccurately to where you get to the point you get an insurance quote and you're like, I'm out of here. If you can even get out at that point, there's a lot of murky things that inaccurate data can end up causing. It can cause you, the seller, the agents, everybody, a lot of harm. My stance on this channel has always been do your own due diligence, always double check everybody's work, because you can't count on everybody to be reliable in any industry, really. And I hate to say that, but that is how it is these days, guys. It's like, you know, you really want to upset somebody, ask them to do their job. They'll get pretty pissed real quick, unfortunately. So you got to look out for you. You got to remember that all of us, everyone in the service industry, myself included, don't even listen to me. We all do this for money, guys. If you guys buy a house, I get a check. I've said this before. I tell all my customers that take everything I say to you with that in the back of your mind. That I do this for money and I get paid if you buy a home. I want to do the best job for you, but I do this to eat. So double check everything. One of the worst ones I saw with a flood zone recently was they had flood zone RSF 3.5. Those of you who don't know what that is, it's residential single family 3.5 units allowed. That might not make sense to you because it doesn't make sense at all. They pulled the actual zoning, those zoning requirements from the county, took out whatever flood zone was in there and typed that in. So that tells me that person doesn't know the difference between what the property is zoned for, usage-wise, and what type of flood hazard it's in. You gotta check this stuff, guys. Other things I see is someone will list a home with a sewer, and I show up, and there's a lid in the front yard. What is this? Is a septic tank. Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't know. I thought it was sewer. Good thing I saw it. Good thing we saw it. How far along would we have got until we realized it was a septic tank? Would we have passed our inspection period and now we can't inspect that septic tank? Would you have closed on the home and found out you have a septic tank that now is potentially bad because you couldn't do an inspection? This is the stuff that you got to be wary of. It can happen anywhere, but I do see it here a lot. I can only tell you about my area. If you guys see inaccurate listing data, if you've seen this before, let me know in the comments. But this is one of the major things to focus on. So, and as you can tell with the flooding, flood zone being inaccurate can be catastrophic, absolutely catastrophic to people who say, and we've seen it on the news, they told me I wasn't in a flood zone because they didn't know what they were talking about, unfortunately. Or they lied, one or the other. I try not to, I'm kidding. I usually go right to malice. I don't think stupidity first, I think it's malice. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, it's on you, and you got to watch out for you. So, purchasing in Florida, what would I focus on? Well, the short list: new roof, hurricane protection, elevated property. Very simple. Which, if you guys watch the channel, you know will probably lead you to new construction. If you're going to purchase a resale, this goes for home buyers, and you know what, investors and flippers too, because I've run into quite a few investors that didn't purchase properly in that sense either. They bought homes that were very low elevation, they were very old, and they came in and did the bathrooms, and went to flip them, and they're like, well, what's going on? I don't understand why this isn't selling. It's like, well, the insurance bill is $5,000 a year for the flood zone. At what price can that sell, guys? So you have a 2-bedroom, say with a 1-car garage or a carport, a starter home here, and you want $250, $270 for it, but you've got no hurricane protection on it. You've got, okay, maybe you got a new roof, but you've got no hurricane protection and you're in a flood zone. What's your insurance gonna be? $7,000 a year? I don't know many first-time home buyers that are gonna be able to eat a $7,000 a year insurance payment added on top of their mortgage, which is gonna be high because first-time home buyers typically put down about 3 to 5%. That's what they do. And this gets confused a lot too, guys. First-time home buyer doesn't mean you've never owned a home. You could be 50 years old, own 6 homes, and still be a first-time home buyer. It's a program you qualify, not a definition of a person. So if you haven't purchased a home in the previous 3 years, you could be eligible for first-time home buyer mortgage products. And that's who that price bracket is for. Even retirees on a fixed income, they're looking in that price bracket. And even if they buy cash, do they want to spend $7,000 a year average on insurance? I don't think so. For a house that's not on the water, for a house that's not fully updated and not hardened against hurricanes. It's a hard proposition. So a lot of people flocked here in the midst of the pandemonium to invest. And you guys know how the rental market is. That's turning out terribly. There's rentals everywhere because the prices went too high and people can't afford them. But even flips, it's like, well, now I can't rent it and now I can't sell it for what I got into it, because who would have thought the insurance situation would have changed and all these hurricanes would come through. So that's the same advice I give to buyers, and it's why it's not working for investors. If you're going to purchase, focus on because people focus on the mortgage, they focus on the monthly nut. Well, you got to start putting in the hurricane protection in there, guys. It doesn't matter if someone came in and updated the bathrooms and put a beautiful kitchen in. Do you have hurricane shutters? No? Then your insurance is going to be higher. Your monthly payment is going to be higher. Focus on that. Are there hurricane impact windows? Is there protection? Is the roof new? It pretty much better be around here, at least, because almost everybody got one recently. If the roof is 10 years old, it's going to be tough. Going to be tough. So that's what I tell people focus on. Obviously, too, is elevation. So the issue with some of the older style homes built in the 70s is they were built at like base flood elevation. You can't lift that house up, guys. So you're going to get smacked with the highest flood premium that they can give you, whether you buy cash or you buy with a mortgage. So elevation can change things drastically. If you look at some of the videos in Punta Gorda, the flooding in Punta Gorda Isles, people built up 9-10 feet on average, seemed to do okay. Didn't get water in their house. Stuff at base floodplain, you kind of know what happened. So that's a big thing to focus on. And why I always say, if you don't care about location, you can go new. New construction tends to offer all of these things right now, guys. You get a brand new house, you either get hurricane impact windows or full shutters, and the thing is built up, because it has to be. I'll give you guys an example. Friends of the channel were down here. We were looking for homes in Welland Park this week, and it's an AE flood zone, unfortunately. These are million-dollar houses, but they're in AE flood zones. So we said, okay, to the builder, shoot us the elevation certificate, shoot us the build height. And you guys can do this on any property. I encourage it beforehand. Before you make offers or get out of your inspection period, get an accurate insurance quote. So that's what we did. We took a look, and on this 2,700 square foot house with a pool in Welland Park, in a flood zone, the flood insurance quote was under $1,000 for the year because it's built up 15 feet. So that's the kind of stuff to focus on. Don't waste your time on the cosmetic. Don't get distracted by the cosmetic of the home. You need to know structural integrity and hurricane hardening, in my opinion. Now, for many years, that was not the case because insurance was so cheap. So it was very reasonable for people to come here, pick up a house, flip it up, throw some laminate in it, throw some $100 cabinets in it, $100 toilets, put a piece of granite in the kitchen, and spike the price up People were like, I love it, great, I'm buying it. And they didn't care the roof was 15 years old, needed to be changed next year, because the insurance was still like 800 bucks. Well, that's not the case anymore. So it's kind of flipped the entire market, and it's put sellers who have, just like the condos, same thing we're seeing in the condo market. If you've deferred maintenance, I mean, even for 10 years at this point, you're gonna struggle to sell your home. There's just no way around it, because there's so many other options that are beating it, guys. They're building so much new construction around here. I mean, 10 to 15 a day I get on the MLS sometimes. And I don't cover a very large area. It's crazy. The amount of new construction that they are still going forward with is mind-blowing, and they're not gonna stop. And it's gonna continue to beat up resale. I don't care if rates go down. The prices have to go down on the resales. And we've seen that happen here. We've seen that happen. I think it's gonna continue to do so. And just for the sake of dragging this video out a little longer, I'm gonna give you guys a quick tour through one of the builders at Everly in Welland Park. All right, guys, I'm not gonna mince words here. This might be one of the nicest houses I've ever been in. This is the Haven model by Lee Wortherington, custom builder here in Everly. You can see it's got a 3-car garage. We're gonna walk into 3,700 plus square feet here. And this place is decked out to the nines. This is gonna be a little longer tour than I normally do, just because there's so much house here and I wanna go through all of it. So we'll take you into the primary suite. You have his and hers closets on either side. I think it's going to be obvious to you which is which, whose is whose. We will spin you into the primary bedroom really quickly here. Very nice woodwork, I really like that. Wait till you see this bathroom. It's massive, and I think it's beautiful. I really like it. This is not really a Florida style house, so I like that they're building this here. They also have another model that is very Florida, but this one was the first one I went through. You can see the kitchen, very beautiful, kind of speaks for itself. I love when I spin here to the island, you're gonna see just what an expansive view of the whole home. We're gonna take you to the left where you have sort of a separate wing now. You have another living area with beautiful pool access. You got a great view here. And there's also another guest bedroom in here. So you could really have company pretty much hang out in here, maybe come out into the kitchen if they need to. But they also put a mini fridge outside of this bathroom, which you'll see as well. So you could sustain yourself here if you don't have to, you just want some drinks. Never come out of this bedroom here. Just get a couple of beverages and hang out, go out by the pool. Once over back through the kitchen area, want to show you this pantry. It's the size of me. As you can see, I can easily fit in there. You got a half bath here for easy access. We're going to take you to another guest bedroom with its own bath. Every bedroom in this house, guys, is going to have its own bathroom. So the one across the hall, you're going to see the same thing. We'll get you in here real quick. Spin you in to the bathroom view. And then I'm going to take you into the laundry area with the pet spa. This thing is massive. This place is really cool, man. Look how big of an area you have here. You've got a nice little farmer's sink, and of course, you can wash the pets over here on the right, which is always a fan favorite. Everybody loves the pet spa. We will zip back through, get you out to the pool area. Beautiful sliders, gorgeous view, nice seating area here. I like the way they've decorated this. Obviously, this is custom built. You guys can put all this in if you'd like, but no-show screen. They've also got an outdoor kitchen with another eating area here that I'm going to run you by, and it has an attached bar area as well, which is really, really nice, especially paired up next to the no-show screen. But my favorite feature of this house, because I've never seen it here in Southwest Florida, is the waterfall into the pool. That kind of sent me over the edge. Beautiful pool, nice sun shelf, awesome jacuzzi, great area, but you also get your own waterfall. And you can have this for about $3 million currently. I'm gonna give you guys an example here. These are the Kevlar shutters. So those are roll downs. Can't call them Kevlar anymore, actually. They're roll down shutters, but they're a good option. Lightweight, easy, protect everything. If you're gonna leave for a couple of months, throw them up. Storm's coming, roll them out, throw them up. The metal ones are a little bit of a pain, just because you've got to almost piece by piece put them together. If you can get accordion shutters, some people don't like the look of them, but man, they're pretty sweet. You just come up, close the accordion. Is that what we got right here? No. So these are the panels. So I'll show you guys the panels here. Oh no, these are accordions. So there's a good example of a closed accordion shutter. Got one on the garage too, that's sick. Garage roll down. Yeah, so you see, you just pull these right across and you're done. Don't have them on the side, but looks like they've got some other protections out there. So that's the big stuff to look for, guys, in my personal opinion. Name of the game is do your own due diligence, trust nobody, verify everything. We'll see you next time.